Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. And today is Friday, and that's awesome because that means it's time for another page in the page by page collaboration with Kyung Shotwell. And of course, all of her links are below, so be sure to check out her video this week to see what she did, and then also visit her Etsy shop where she has tons of really cool handmade stuff, and then she also has some wonderful digital papers as well. So today we're doing page 30, which is going to be our center spread, and Kyung was nice enough to pick Floral, and you'll see why in a minute, and I'm glad about that. And I just want to say that for next week, before I forget to pick the prompt, for next week I'm going to pick tag, and that's going to help me out with my center spread. Let me mark that down right there. Tag 31 Terry. Okay, there we go. So now actually here's our book. Let me move this out of the way. So here's our book so far, and we're going to go to, I'm flipping through a couple at a time. Look at this, we got so many pages done, so many pages. All right, so we're on our center spread. Now the page that I have in mind for the one half of the center spread, which is going to be the same papers both weeks, this week and next week, so that I can, you know, make my center thing go the way I want, because I like to have like a one part thing across the middle. I don't know what I'm trying to say, a center spread for the center spread. And sorry about that, I got distracted because there are like dings going on in the background. So what we're actually going to do is page 31 today, because what I want to do opens from the right, and then next week we'll do this one. So they're just going to be switched around, that's all. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We don't actually need this page right now. We just need to remember, I pointed to my head like you could see it. And so we just need to remember that the open side is to the right. Okay, now I want to show you these beautiful papers that we're going to be using for the next 2 weeks. These are not ones, these first ones that we're using this week, but just look how gorgeous these are. These are little writing cards. These are some of the tags. And then look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. I'm going to put those to the side, and here's one of the halves, of the paper, and we are actually going to be using this week. And this one, and this one, and I just want to say that this kit is called Cherry Blossom, because I know you guys are going to ask. I would too. It's called Cherry Blossom, and it's by Tailor Made Journals. Lorna Taylor made these, and they are just gorgeous. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a simple flip out with a pocket on the back. We're going to be using the Cherry Blossom kit. I'm going to set this aside. I've got everything clipped and labeled, and then we're also going to be using, I sprayed this cream colored paper. I can never tell if you can see the sparkle or not, with white pearl acrylic paint that I mixed with alcohol. So it's just an alcohol ink spray that I made myself by putting just a little bit of acrylic paint, and I mean a little bit. You can still see a little bit on the side right there. Every time you shake it, it, you know, adds a little bit more, plus it stirs it up. You do have to shake it every time before you use it. But I don't know put that up there, and if you can see that shimmer, and that's what's on the page. Okay, so if you want to reproduce this exactly, then this is Deco Art, metallic, acrylic paint, and the color is white pearl. And I think this is, I don't know, a couple of dollars, and it will last you your lifetime. Your entire lifetime. Now, I wasn't really able to ink anything I should have inked. In fact, let me find it. There's the paper. I even sprayed the backing paper, even though we're only going to see the little edge around, but I thought that little bit of sparkle would help. While I'm talking right here, I should have been inking this. I forgot. We're going to be using tea dye. I had to fix mine with washi tape because the lid won't stay on. I actually bought this from like a third party on Amazon, and when I got it and the lid wouldn't stay on, I sent them a message, and I said, and we're not inking this, but just enough to get the white off the edge. Because I'm looking at it, I kind of wished I had picked a different color, but that's all right because we're not going to do very much. Just a teeny bit. This is okay. Maybe just a little bit more of a beigey color would have been better, but this is good. Okay, so we've got that done. So now what we're going to do, this is the backing paper. We can set that to the side for right now. What we're going to do is we're going to make a flip out, and the flip out is going to be made with the cream colored paper. So we need to measure this. Oh, it changed the way the paper feels when I sprayed it. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so let's set this over here right now too. So what we need to do for the flip out is we need a piece of paper that is let's see, our pages are 8 1/4 by 5 1/4, and I want the flip out to be 4 inches wide, and I need it to, no, we do have to have it go from the right. Because I want to cover this so that you don't see it until you open it, and then you go, wow, look how pretty that is. So what was I going to say? Oh, so we're going to make it 4.5 inches wide and 8 inches tall, and that will give us just a little bit of an edge at the top and the bottom. Okay, so let's do that. Oh, this is one of the papers as well, one of the like backing paper patterns. It's really pretty. Put this over here as well. We're going to be using the same kit next week, like I said, so that way we have our center spread. We're not going to use the same pictures, obviously, but yep, both of us. Oh, there it is. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm just blathering on, so I forgot. All right, so we need 8 1/4, or 8. This is my ring of the day. Hope you like it. I've got a bunch of different rings, and now that I can make my room warmer, I'm hoping I can wear them. Okay, we're going to put this to the side. It's so sparkly. And we're going to make it 5 1/4 wide, or no, 4.5 wide. Sorry, you just heard my heater click on. It's in the doorway. It's quite a ways away, but I'm sure you can probably still hear it. Yeah, and then we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. I'm going to score it on this side. Well, that's the way it's going to open anyway, but just because it's easier as well. I'm going to score it at 4 inches. Okay. And we're going to burnish it, which just means to make the crease nice and sharp. Flip it this way so it opens from the right side, or the correct side. The reason I have to do it from the right is because the paper that I'm going to cover it with, I don't want to cut off the lanterns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this paper the same size. Actually, this is 5 1/4 right now. It should be. So let's glue this on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. So all we're going to do is glue this. Let me double check on the size. Yeah, that seems good. Okay. So we're going to glue this. I was trying to think of something to talk about. I'm always concentrating, and so I'm not a big chatter while I work with you guys, and I kind of wish that I did more, you know, in the way of talking. Probably would make it more entertaining or more annoying, depending on whether you like to listen to me yammer on or not. Just depends. So let's use our bone folder. See how that sticks up. I was going to use magnets, which I actually still could, because I'm going to back this now with paper. Originally I was going to leave it this sparkly and put a pocket on, but now I've decided to cover it, and I didn't set anything aside to make the pocket with. I need paper for a pocket. I needed a paper for a pocket. So, oh no I don't. No I don't. Forget that. Forget that thought. I've got paper for a pocket. Okay, so since we're going to cover this, you see how it does. We're going to go ahead and use magnets to hold it down. I got some new magnets. Put them in the old box. So let's get out 2. These are 10 millimeters around by 1 millimeter thick. You can get them on Amazon. I think you probably hear me say that for everything. You can get it on Amazon. So let's open this up. Is it straight? Yeah. Okay, so let's open this up and let's put the magnet, I don't know, about here. Woo! See? I wasn't originally, I was originally going to put a magnet, but then I was going to leave this sparkly paper, which is so pretty. But now I'm not. So we can put a magnet, because we really do need one. I really should have eaten again. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, now we're going to close this. Flip it over. There we go. So that's where this magnet goes. Okay, and that's going to hold it shut. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to paper the flip out. So that's going to be this. So we're going to need to take this paper and we're going to put it over here so that the lanterns are on the edge. Now I'm not going to ink this. Or should I? I think I should, actually. That magnet makes it a sticky situation. I know I just did this, but I don't think there was really any ink on the... I like the fact that it blends in. Kind of wish, now that I look at it on the cream paper, it could be a little bit darker. Didn't really mean to make it that dark, but... So, you know, I've done this with tea dye before. It's a nice color, and it's really light. So you may have to do it a couple times to get it. So now we're going to do the inside, which I'm sure you're thrilled to watch me ink some more. I just took my medicine, which is probably a good thing for you guys. And, gosh, have you ever had that where you take medicine and then one of the pills gets kind of stuck halfway down your throat? Yeah, that's me. Okay, so we got that. We've inked that. And we're just going to leave the white sparkly paper. No, I'm kidding. So now we're going to cut this and then we're going to ink it. So we're going to put this here. And we're going to cut it a little bit shorter than the paper. And a little bit narrower than the paper. Now I'm kind of doing this a little bit more than I normally would. Actually, if I'm going to do that, then I should make it a little bit more here. Just because of the sparkle of the paper, I want you to be able to see that. Yeah, I think that'll do it. So we'll make those trim here. And trim it down. I don't think I have any song references so far this time. Kind of too bad that we're cutting this off. That'll go in the scrap container for the collage, though. I don't know how big that collage is going to be for this, but it's going to be big. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. I like the fact that this ended up lining up. Kind of makes it go a little more consistently. So let's glue this. See, it says flip out right there. We're going to be flipped out. The glue. I don't know where I was reaching. Just reaching out, hoping the glue will find its way into my hand. Because I'm magic that way. Except for it didn't work that time. Because you know, sometimes magic works and sometimes it doesn't. Mostly it doesn't. Sometimes, though, you could meet someone and the magic could happen, I think. Yeah, see that little bit bigger border on this particular case, and in this particular case, I think looks really nice. Instead of just that little tiny border where you can barely see it. This little bit bigger border. Okay, so now we're going to open this up, and we're going to cover it with this paper. It's lined, and so it can be a nice writing space. I'm holding those out into space while I say writing space. And so we're going to do the same thing, only we're going to do it in the middle because I want to see the building and not just the edge of the building. So let's do this, and then we'll do the length after we get done. Once again, I'm going to go in a little bit farther than I normally do. This way, hopefully, keep forgetting to cover my glue lately. But this way, hopefully, we will get this main part in the middle on the back, which I think is, because it's the lighter version of the page, I believe there's a darker version, you know, a more vibrant version of this that isn't a writing page in the kit. We may look into that for the other half. Oh, look at that. Wow, that turned out nice. Oh yes, yes indeed. So now let's glue this on here. So this, we've got our writing page. I'm trying to keep this simple because it's so beautiful. I don't think we have to do a lot to it. It's not going to be plain. To ink this. Oh, for goodness sake. The only time washi tape has ever stuck to anything. I was going to put some writing cards and a pocket on here, but I really like this picture, and it's got the lines for the writing. So I think I'm just going to leave it a writing page. You could do whatever you like. If you wanted to add a pocket, if you're using different paper, you can just put a pocket across the bottom and put a nice writing card in instead. Okay, instead of just leaving it the writing paper. It sounds like I'm saying riding, like riding a horse. Writing is in penmanship, which they don't even teach in schools anymore. What is wrong? What am I reaching for up here for the glue when the glue is always over here? That's where its home is. It's right there. I shouldn't tap the table like that. It sounds like somebody knocking at the door and my dog will start barking. But that's all right. Everybody knows Oz by now. I mean, you haven't seen him. Maybe I should do that sometime. Maybe I should grab him and stick him under the camera. All you would see is the top of his head. See? Right on cue. Get away from the door. He's at the sliding glass door. I put my hand over the mic so that wasn't too loud, I hope. Didn't think there was any reason to put you on pause for that because I'm just pretty sure. Well, think I said that too quickly. What I was going to say is I was pretty sure he was going to mind. I forgot to cut off the length. What's wrong with me? Or actually, yeah, we're going to cut it off the length. What is wrong with me? Oh, hi, Oz. We're just talking about you. I'm going to wait for that glue to dry. Come here. Okay. All right, everybody. Here he is. Look up. Look up and say hi. No, look up. Look up. There he is. Oh, he's so cute. We're waiting for the glue to dry. Okay, buddy. You've made your film debut. He's a Chewini. He's not very big, but the camera's not very big either. All right. So for the length, I'm hoping the glue isn't going to stick again, but it will. For the length, we need to cut it off right here. Let's say at that writing line. While we're waiting for the glue to dry, we can do the other side. Yes, we're going to do something to this picture. Everyone gasps, what are we going to do? Don't worry. We're just going to make a hidden pocket. And we're going to back these two writing cards. So we have plenty to do while the glue dries. So I can cut it. It's just gorgeous. I just can't. Okay, so we want the pocket. Let's say we want it to be somewhere that's easy to line up. So let's say the top of her thumb is where we're going to cut it off. And then the pocket will blend right in. There's that writing. Well, hopefully we can pull it off. Maybe we'll do it in between a couple of the symbols or letters or words. I'm not really sure in Japanese whether each symbol is a word. I'm pretty sure it is. If you know what this says, right here, leave it in the comments below. I would really like to know. Maybe I don't want to know, but I think I want to know. If it's a bunch of curse words or some kind of crazy saying, don't feel the urge to put it on there. Oh, I know where I'll put this. Put it up there. My next project that you're going to see is called Industrial Grunge. And it's also a tailor-made journal paper. And it's another one folder wonder, where I use one manila folder to make at least just the base of the book, if nothing else, because I usually add stuff on. Oh, that works. That works good right there. Now we're going to ink around the outside of the pocket, but not the top. That's still pretty right there. Okay, so let's ink around the outside of this. I wouldn't care about the glue, except for I just don't want to get the glue on my, whoops, that was close. Okay, so we're going to glue this on 3 sides. I'm going to mark this as the top. And then we're going to line it up with the paper and hopefully make a pocket that you won't really see once the cards are taken out. That's the idea anyway. I was going to make a large writing card, but then I realized, nah, we already have enough of the larger images going on. So I decided to just use the 2 smaller cards. Okay, let's get this lined up. There we go. Everything is lined up except this seems to be a little bit wider. Now see how you can't see that pocket at all. So I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to take my scissors. It's actually, why does it look a little crooked? Boy, that is very, very close. Okie dokie. Wow. I'm definitely pleased with that. And if the dog would stay. That was weird. Oh no, that was the dog. If he would quit walking through the audio cord, we would be good. So now we've got this. The inside of this should be dry enough to cut. So we've got this, and then we open it, and we've got this hidden pocket. And then we have these 2 beautiful cards, and we're going to back them on the sparkly paper and then put them in here. Okay? I'm really pleased with the way the pocket came out, especially because her thumb was right there. I don't know if you can see where the pocket is or not. I can barely see it. Alright, so let's trim the bottom of this and then re-ink it. Get some stuff out of the way here. And that was all there was. That was all there was to it. Just that little tiny bit. And let's re-glue it. Oh, we got ink across the bottom. I almost forgot. Now we're going to glue it again. Wait for that air bubble. And kind of reactivating the glue that's on there. It's not even super dry. Got my sleeves pulled up, ready to work. We've got our writing paper. so you can't even see where the magnet is. When you go to write on it, you'll be able to feel it, but Kyung will see the video. Hi, Kyung. Hi. And she'll know not to write right there, or to write there, and be careful. Okay, so that's that. We've got our hidden pocket. So now all we have left to do is back our cards. So let's get our sparkly paper. Now I would like to do these where they have an edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the card on the paper. I should glue it to the paper and then cut the border out using the paper trimmer. That's how I'm going to try to do it. If it doesn't work, then we will go on pause and I will print out some more. And then we'll put the paper on the back without the edge coming out. But I just thought it would be pretty. Really, I have my sleeves up so they don't get dragged through the glue. But I am ready to work. What's under there? Oh, nothing. The paper's a little bit wrinkly from spraying it. How pretty is that? Okay. So now I'm going to turn this sideways. And I want to trim it about here. And if I knew I could glue the other one on exactly the... Let's just wait and do them one at a time. You know, if we did them both at the same time, then I know the top border for sure would be the same. Let's glue them both on and line them up. Nope, I'm afraid. I'm going to do them individually. Then we're going to do this on this side. And do it about here. So let's do, if we do the top first, then we know the height for the other one. And then all we have to do is line up the width. What a good plan that is. Let's see if it works. Okay, there we go. Now the border is a little bit bigger on the other side over there, so let's trim that down just a smidge. Just like a hair. There's a little bit of a glare. There we go. That's nice. That looks very nice. What do you guys think? And then on the back is the cream glittery paper. Put that in there. I wonder if we need to. I think we can do with just one. I don't think we need 2 writing cards. I'll paper clip this to the back paper. Maybe we'll use it on the other side. So I'm going to paper clip that together. So now we've got our page. Now we just have to put this on the backing paper. And then we'll just put it in the book. So all in all, I think it turned out very pretty. I'm in love, love, love with this paper. Miss Paint-A-Lot mentioned it, I believe, on her live last weekend. And I popped right over during the live. Which probably wasn't very nice, but it only took a second. As soon as I saw it, I was like, bing, put it in the cart. In fact, I think I just hit buy it now. I don't even think I bothered putting it in my cart. Okay. We're going to center this on here. A little wrinkly. Let's move it up just a little bit. Move it over just a little bit. Okay, let's put the writing card over so you don't really see it. Yeah, that's another reason we only need one. That way it hides behind our flap. That's better. Okay, now we're going to put this in our book. Come here, book page. Of course, page 29 has already been done. So we'll have to take the tags out. Well, it won't matter. It's the buttons that are going to get us, huh? And let's put this in the book. It's so sparkly. I wish you could see it. Kyung will have to tell you whether she likes it or not when she gets the signatures, the two signatures. I tell you, I have no idea what I'm going to do for the cover. You know, maybe I'll do a plain cover and I'll let her decorate her cover. No, because then she'll do the same to me and I'll have to do some cool steampunk thing. Now watch her go, yeah, that's a good idea, Terry. Let's do that. And the next thing you know, here we go. The glue's coming out better. It wasn't coming out very well. Okay, so now let's just put it on page 31 instead of 30. I think Kyung does hers, you know, randomly wherever they fit and stuff, because some of the papers she uses are different colors and things like that, and that's pretty cool. You know me. 1, 2, 3. Everything has a place. There's a place for everything. Everything's in a certain order. There we go. That's just gorgeous. Didn't need anything else on the front. Closes. The weight of the book will flatten that out a little bit. I like the little bit of the extra border on the way, all the way around. Okay, so that's page 30. Let's put it in the book. In the book. And that's half of our center spread, and we'll do the other half next week. We will be using the same papers, and I will try to think of something to do with the papers. We'll use different ones from the same kit, and then hopefully you'll like the whole center spread. So that's it for this week's page, and I will see you next time, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.